Lord Ramchandra rules the world. Um, so short chapter, but there are a number of very wonderful lessons that we can take from this chapter. Please bear with me as we go through this. Right. So in the previous, we discussed that that Shukadeva Goswami is basically going through the lineage of Sun dynasty, the current, current Manu, lineage of the current Manu. And of course, current Manu is the son of sun god. So it will be Sun dynasty. And in that lineage, whenever there is an important personality, Shukadeva Goswami is explaining their pastime, their activities. And of course, Lord Ram appeared in the Sun dynasty. So Shukadeva Goswami wanted to describe the pastime of Lord Rama. However, Maharaj Parikshit must have heard it in the past. So he said that he's going to give a synopsis of Lord Rama's activities, very brief description. So in the previous chapter, we concluded with that Lord Ram became victorious over Ravana and brought Mother Sita back to Ayodhya on a special airplane called Pushpaka Vimana. And he was then coronated. That's how the previous chapter was concluded. And this chapter talks about that. So the Lord Ramchandra rules the world. So, firstly, so after he was coronated, Lord Ram, he performed some sacrifices with opulent paraphernalia. So let me just there is one important point here. So Sri Shukauvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttama Kalpakai Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhai. Ej means worshipped. How? Atmanatmanam. He himself worshipped when he was performing sacrifice. Who is he worshipping? He is worshipping himself to set an example to the humankind. The main purpose of Lord Rama's descendants is to set a good example, to teach the people good behavior. That's the main purpose. Martya Shikshana, to train humankind. So, Sarva Devamayam Devam. So he is the Lord of all the lords, yet he is worshipping. And who does he worship? Atmanatmanam. He is worshipping himself. How? And there is an example, Makai means sacrifice, usually horse sacrifice, fire sacrifice. Acharyavan, under the guidance of an Acharya. Even Lord Ram accepted an Acharya, and he is doing this under the guidance of a Guru. So, what we can learn here, Makai, what is the sacrifice for this age? This is Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama Iva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyataha. So we need not to perform fire sacrifice, but we can chant the holy names of the Lord. That is the yajna that is being prescribed. We should give more importance to Hari Kirtan, Hari Katha compared to these fire sacrifices. Prabhupada writes in the purport, I'm explaining that to you. And because they are not like, because in the olden days, it's a different scenario. So you get better results when you worship the Lord by chanting Harinam and by hearing Harikatha. Acharyavan. So we also have Acharya, founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. We can worship the Lord under his direction. So this is one important point that I wanted to bring up here. Okay, so yeah, then it is mentioned here that so Lord Ram, he basically gave up all his land to various brahmanas, who were helping him, who were conducting the fire sacrifice. In this way, he donated his kingdom. Entire kingdom has been donated. So after giving everything, what is left for Lord Ram? He retained only his personal garments and ornaments. The sad thing is that Queen Mother Sita was left with only her nose ring and nothing else, ornaments wise. So you donated everything to Brahmana. So here is another point for us as a Grihastha, when we make money, when we earn money, so something from our savings, we should utilize something from our saving for Krishna consciousness, serving Krishna and Krishna's devotees. So that is another second point that we can note down. So then the Brahmanas, after receiving all these wonderful gifts, so many ornaments and the land, they spoke. They were very pleased with the Lord. He is naturally affectionate. On top of that, he gave so many gifts. With melted hearts, they just returned all the property received from him. They just returned, Brahmanas. And they said like this, you have entered the core of our hearts. That itself is a big gift. We do not want any material donation. So this one we will read this purport. It's nice. If you are in a position to read, please do so. If not, I will just try and do myself. Yes, Meena Mataji, please read the purport.
Of the first text, right, Prabhuji?
No. Oh, you are always on the book. Text 6.
6. Thank you.
Nice, Mataji. You are the only one who is, looks like you are the only one who utilizing the books properly.
No, Prabhuji, there must be people.
Lalita Preeti also likes books, yeah.
Yeah, I like directly from the books. So the purport is when Dhruv Maharaj was offered a benediction by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he replied, "O my Lord, I am fully satisfied. I do not need any material benediction." Similarly, when Prahlad Maharaj was offered a benediction by Lord Nrsimhadev, he also refused to accept it and instead declared that a devotee should not be like a vanik, a mercantile man, who gives something in exchange for some profit. One who becomes a devotee for some material profit is not a pure devotee. Brahmanas are always enlightened by the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the heart. Sarvasya chaham ridi sanirishto mata smrtir jnanam apohanam cha. And because the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are always directed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are not greedy for material wealth. What is absolutely necessary they possess, but they do not want an expanded kingdom. An example of this was given by Vamandev. Acting as a brahmachari, Lord Vamandev wanted only 3 paces of land. Aspiring to possess more and more for personal sense gratification is simply ignorance. And this ignorance is conspicuous by its absence from the heart of a Brahmana or Vaishnava. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, so here the Brahmanas were very pleased naturally with Lord's affection, and they do not. Here, Prabhupada was writing that they only accept necessary things, not so much. They are not so greedy, and this is how a devotee works, and devotee does not do business. When Narsimhadev wanted to give a benediction to Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj said, "I worship you, not expecting some benefit. I don't want anything. You are my master. I'm your servant. It's my eternal duty to serve you without expecting anything," like that. So Prabhupada here pointing that so the Brahmanas they just returned everything to the Lord. So for us is also any lesson that we can take is that yes, Lord will definitely we need something for our daily maintenance and necessity. We need wealth, so Lord will supply that. But one should not render devotion in want of more and more wealth. From this statement, we can see that. Um, so, and then they have one shloka. I really liked it. And this is the prayer. Let's see, chat. Okay. Am I audible, dear devotees?
Yes,
Okay,
Yes,
good. Yeah. So this one shloka you can try and memorize, and whenever you see Lord Ramchandra, you can offer this prayer. Nice, wonderful prayer. The Brahmanas offered after returning the land. They returned. This is 9:11:7, 11th chapter, 7th verse. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Ramaya Kunta Medase Uttama Shloka Dhuryaya Nyasta Dandar Pitangraye. So beautiful prayer. O Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have accepted the Brahmanas as your worshipable deity. Hmm. Brahmanya Deva, hmm. Brahmanya Devaya, who accepts the Brahmanas as his worshipable deity. That's what the Lord does. That's why he's called Brahmanya Deva. And we, many devotees, they offer this prayer because this is part of our Boga offering, no? Every day, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanitaya Cha. This one is slightly different. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Ramaya Akunta Medase. Your knowledge and memory are never disturbed by anxiety. So when we are in anxiety, when we become anxious, our memory and our we get disturbed. Our memory also goes down. Intelligence gets disturbed. You are the chief of all famous persons within this world. That is Uttama Shloka Duryaya. So the best of very famous persons. And the last one is Nyasta Dandharpitangraye. And your lotus feet are worshipped by the sages who are beyond the jurisdiction of punishment. O Lord Ramchandra, let us offer our respectable obeisances unto you. So nice prayer. Please try and memorize. Maybe I'll recite one more time. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Ramaya Kunta Medase Uttama Shloka Dhuryaya Nyasta Dandar Pitangraye. So that's the prayer. Then Sukadeva Goswami says, this is where things get a little more interesting. So Lord Ramchandra was walking every night incognito, hiding himself in disguise to find out people's opinion of himself. So as a king, like he wanted to know what people are talking about himself, people's opinion of himself. This may be tricky if you try and do this in Kali Yuga. So you have, then in one night, you heard a man speaking unfavorably about Mother Sita. And this is what he said. He was talking to his wife, this, fellow with Aeneas character. This guy, he said to his wife, hey, you went to someone else's house, another man's house, and you came here. I'm not going to accept you. However, Lord Ram was a henpecked husband. He accepted Sita, even though she went to Lanka and stayed there for some time. I'm not henpecked like him. I therefore shall not accept you again. We have heard this, I think probably every man, every person in India, I think probably know this story. So and then Lord Ramchandra, what did he do after hearing this? He, fearing such rascals, So the word used here is fearing such. Bhitena is afraid of such comments. Huh? And what did he do? He abandoned Mother Sita, although she was pregnant. Thus, Sita Devi was sent to ashram of Valmiki. And this is a very sad part, um, that Mother Sita was sent to the Valmiki ashram. Many times, many devotees, they question about this, um, and the devotees, senior devotees, have given several lectures on this topic. Um, so, if you want, you can hear those. But the main reason that, if we analyze, uh, sometimes people say, how can he be Lord if he had sent pregnant Mother Sita to forest? This is what people say. But if you analyze the entire Ramayana, so there are, first of all, he's a king. There is Raja Dharma, there is Pati Dharma. Raja Dharma means the duty as duty as a king, duty as, and the Pati Dharma versus duty as husband. And so he wanted to set an example of an ideal king. uh, so that's why he chose that. They are not like human beings, like ourselves. It's Lord Rama, is none other than Lord Vishnu, and yes, Mother Lakshmi is Sita. They are playing the pastime role. Here they are demonstrating how the leaders can be corrupt. Here there is no fault, yet because he heard some bad comments about him, he decided to sacrifice and send, um, you know, Mother Sita to Valmiki ashram. Mm. And if you see Ramayana, and it teaches about sacrifice, um, and when Dasharatha had had actually asked Rama to go forest, Rama did not question. Why did you give boons to your wife Kaikeyi? And now she is asking those two boons. And why do I need to go to forest? He did not question. He went. And Lakshman need not to go, but as sacrifice he also went. Mother Sita need not to go, she joined. Bharat, for example, um, what a sacrifice he had committed. Uh, um, he had just lived outside the Ayodhya uh, place called Nandigam, wearing tree box, sleeping on the floor. Uh, and people were criticizing. Some people were like, because of Bharat, Ram went to forest because of him, like that. Uh, so it's a full of sacrifice. Uh, um, so if you want more explanation on this, there is a class by Chaitanya Charan, a 1 hour lecture. he had given. I will share it in the group. You all can watch, get further information on it. But the essence, there are other things also. There is some curse that on Vishnu, that they will be separated. In the pastime of Ramayana, as Rama and Sita, etc. There were some some other things also from other Puranas. But if you see from the perspective of Ramayana, it's the sacrifice, like that Lord Ram wanted to show that he's an ideal person. The king responsibility as king is superior, and sometimes this is what happens. If you are a family member of an ideal king like this, then you will also have to undergo some tapasya. Naturally, that happens. Mm. If you generally, leaders are not ideal, but here is an example. So okay, so devotees, I think this is something I think everybody like to talk about it and ask. I hope I have clarified somewhat, but I'm happy to share more information for you. And here you go, Purnamataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavas Pranam.
Prabhuji, may I add
Sure, please
something?
add.
So, I think as per Valmiki Ramayan, it
Mm,
was Mother Sita's idea to go in the forest. And, because as you, and the reasoning is the same, because Lord Ram had his Raj Dharma, which is more important than his Pati Dharma.
mm,
And his avatar was as a Maryada Purushottam avatar. In
mm,
that incarnation, he was as Maryada Purushottam. So it was
mm,
her suggestion, and Lord Ram was devastated by that suggestion
mm,
of hers, and he actually offered to leave the throne for her,
mm,
and said,
mm,
"I am ready to come and live in the forest with you. I don't need this throne, and
mm,
I don't want to abandon you at any cost, because
yeah.
he is Ek Patni Dhari and he is very
Mm,
dedicated to her." Uh,
mm,
the way she is dedicated to him. But Sita Mata persuaded him that, because it was the need of the hour at that time,
mm,
she felt if she went away, that would uh, clear the blot away, and also will help him focus on the activities that he in that incarnation was supposed to do. So that was one thing that I thought I'll add. And
right.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So thank you, Mataji. So yeah, but the version like in Valmiki Ramayana, I think what I heard it's slightly different. Like she wanted to go out on a picnic, uh, but I didn't know that it was our suggestion on this occasion to go. That I have to go and check it. I've not heard it like that. Yes, she had a desire to go and spend some time in the nature. Uh, so that much I know, but I'm not sure whether she suggested that because of this incident, because of these the words by washerman, that she wanted to go away. That I'm not quite sure, but I need to double check on that.
Prabhuji, I have also heard from reliable sources on this, so
Okay,
that's why I'm quoting it.
good.
I have
Okay,
myself not read it, but
yeah,
I have heard from reliable sources.
yeah.
But the next thing, when you mentioned about Bharat, who is Lord Ram's brother, in Shubha Vilas Prabhu's Ramayana, it is mentioned that Bharat felt so bad about Lord Ram being and every time he used to think about Lord Ram, he used to think 10 times more of the pain that Lord Ram would be facing. So
Mm,
it is written in that Ramayan that, if Lord Ram was sleeping on the earth, Bharat would
yeah,
actually dig the earth, and sleep 2 or 3, like a couple of
feet down,
feet
2 3
down
feet down below, because
below.
he doesn't want to be on the same level as
Yes, yes.
his
Yeah.
brother. I heard that.
Yeah, I have read that, Prabhuji. That I have read in Shubha Vilas Prabhu's Ramayan. Yeah.
Yeah, so yes, it may not be given in Valmiki Ramayana, but sometimes some acharyas comments like that. So you might have picked it from, Sri Sampradaya. So generally, Ramanuja Sampradaya acharyas are very experts in Ramayana. So their commentaries well regarded. Okay. Thank you, Purna Mataji, for those comments. And now, Nisha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam.
Tanvat
I
Pranam.
just I just got this question in my mind coming, like Lord Rama, because he knows everything, and the person who's so fickle-minded, who was talking about the story to his
Mm.
wife, why Lord Rama like not understood that this mind plays so much dirty games, so I should not
Yes.
carried away with that.
Yeah, but the point yeah, but I think you're missing the point. What is the lesson that Ram want to teach? He knows everything, isn't it? Even what is the use of searching, sending all the Vanara troops in all directions and searching, to find out whereabouts of Mother Sita? No need. He knows everything. But this is a pastime. He's setting some example that as a leader, one should be like that, sacrifice, right?
Yeah, understand his sacrifice, like he's setting an example for all of us to come. But when you think about Kali Yuga people whose minds are always contaminated with so many things, it's not like a easy thing.
Mataji, Kali Yuga people are different completely. Even they are, they even, yeah. So they, even though they are faulty and they don't accept it, what to speak of something like this? It's impossible.
Yes.
So no way comparable. So Lord is demonstrating, as we talked about it. He knows everything. You have to understand this is the pastime, and through the pastime, He is teaching us some lessons always.
Yes.
So
Prabhuji,
He's
I understood
teaching
the
a
lesson.
lesson
Yeah.
for humankind, how one should be like that. Yes.
Yes, I understood the lesson. It's just I understood the lesson how he wanted to set an example. But just this was actually bothering me, so I just wanted to
Yes,
clarify.
it does bother.
Mm.
Even devotees. I mean, kidnapping Mother Sita is also very much heart pain. Painful to the devotees. Yeah,
Okay,
that is quite natural.
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, so I will send. Chaitanya Charan gave 1 hour lecture on this. There are other lectures also, but Shubha Vilas also very well-known speaker on Ramayana.
Okay.
So yeah, these two authors in ISKCON, yeah, so we can hear from them. Chaitanya Charan had detailed. The another thing also, Purna Mataji mentioned that Lord Ram took a vow of accepting one wife, which is Ekapatni Vrata. So his father Dasharatha had around 353 wives.
Okay. Yeah.
And But Lord Ram, like in those days, it was quite natural for Kshatriyas, kings, to accept more than one wife. But Lord Ram took a vow to accept one wife, and when Mother Sita was away, also when he was performing sacrifice, the priest said, "You need a partner, wife, and so why don't you marry another woman?"
Mm. Okay.
Lord Ram did not get married. So he put
Mm.
a golden image of Mother Sita next to him and carried the sacrifice.
Okay.
So
Thank
like
you,
that.
Prabhuji.
So like that. Okay, so
Thank
yeah, and this it says in the Bhagavatam, if you remember well, we'll just connect this to the pastime of Krishna Leela. So when Akrura, I mean, Kamsa had sent Akrura to Gokul to bring Krishna and Balram to Mathura in to participate in this. What is that? Mm, Wrestling match. Yes, Karuneshwari Mataji. Sorry, I was closing my eyes while explaining this. Past time I did not see you raise your hand. Please, Mataji. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Uh,
Haribol.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask whether there is a role of Sahasra Ravana, who was Ravana's brother,
Mm.
and he wanted to take some revenge. So his actions were to flicker the minds of normal human beings. So that has been mentioned somewhere. Just wanted to clarify whether it is given in Valmiki Ramayana or not.
Sahasra, what's his name?
Sahasra Ravana, Prabhuji.
Okay. Mataji, I think I've not fully heard about him, but I can look into it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
I have heard about him, but I'm not sure if he's mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana or not. But I have heard
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah. So yeah, it may not, he may not be mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Maybe if Tulasi mentions Tulasi Ramayana, we can accept that. So many acharyas accepted Tulasi Ramayana to be bona fide as well. And in Tamil, there is, I don't know if anyone from Tamil here, Kamba Ramayana is also very famous. So if acharyas mentioned, then we can accept it. Okay. Let's move on. So this, Kamsa had sent Akrura to bring Krishna and Balram, yeah, to Mathura from Gokul to participate in the wrestling match, and he devised a plan to kill various plans to kill Krishna and Balram. There are a number of things. And so when Akrura was bringing them to Mathura, uh, so they came on chariot till the outskirts of Mathura. But as soon as they reached the border of Mathura, uh, they asked Akrura to go. And they got down the chariot. They started walking. They decided to walk. While walking, many people were taking wonderful darshan of the Lord. They met on their way. They met one washerwoman, a washerman. This is given in the uh, chapter. Which chapter is that? Yeah, chapter 41 of 10th canto. Hmm? So they met washerman. This washerman was actually serving Kamsa, and they just asked for some clothes. And so this washerman was very, impudent, and so he was challenging the Lord, something like that. So that time Krishna killed the washerman with tip of, with his fingertips like this. So it is said, Acharyas said that this man who commented in Ram Lila bad about Mother Sita, that person came as washerman in Krishna Lila and was killed by Krishna. So that is one thing I heard I wanted to share. And what else? So we'll move on. Then, so Mother Sita was under the shelter of, Valmiki ashram. She was there, and she gave birth to two sons, Lava and Kusha. We all know that. And then so it is also mentioned here that Lakshmana also had two sons named Angada and Chitraketu. Bharata also had two sons named Taksha and Pushkala. Shatrughna had two sons named Subhavu and Shrutasena. Mm. Um, and Bharata, went to conquer all directions on the order of Lord Ramchandra and killed many Gandharvas and brought so much wealth offered it to Lord Ramchandra. And it is mentioned Shatrugna killed one demon named Lavana, Lavanasur, and who is the son of Madhu. And so he lived in Madhuvan, in Madura, in Madhuvan, Madhuvan area. There are 12 forests. So one of the forest names of forest was Madhuvan. That's where this Lavanasur was living. He was killed by Shatrugna. So Sita Devi, then meditating, she entrusted her two sons in the care of Valmiki Muni, and meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, she entered the earth, entered into earth. So we know that, yeah, she was found when Maharaj Janaka was plowing the sacrificial arena. He was plowing it, and she found within the Mother Earth. So she's uh, so then she entered into earth again. Here it is mentioned. And hearing this news, Lord Ramchandra aggrieved very much. And so Prabhupada writes here, this is transcendental. It is not a material thing. That Lord's lamentation is also transcendental. So he was always remembering the exalted qualities of Mother Sita. And he could not check his grief and transcendental love. So then Lord Ramchandra, after this, he performed uninterrupted Agnihotra Yajna, fire sacrifice, for 13,000 years, it is mentioned here. So he was continuously performing for 13,000 years. So then, so after this, he went back to spiritual world, which is known as Ayodhya. There is Ayodhya in the spiritual world also, where bhakti yogis, devotees of Lord Rama will be promoted. And it is said that, here, Lord Ramchandra, reputation for killing Ravana with showers of arrows at the request of the demigods. So this was the request for the demigods also, because we know that Ravana can only be killed by the monkeys and humans. And he also built a bridge over the ocean. So it is said that Lord Rama has no equal or superior, and therefore he had no need to take help from monkeys to gain victory over Ravana. So this is all pastimes. So, and the Lord has no duty to perform to oblige anyone. Nonetheless, he appears to act to protect his devotees or kill his enemies. Of course, no one can be the Lord's enemy, since who could be more powerful than the Lord? There is actually no question of anyone's being his enemy. But when the Lord wants to take pleasure in pastimes, he comes down to this material world and acts like a human being, thus showing his wonderful, glorious activities to please the devotees. His devotees always want to see the Lord victorious in varied activities, and therefore to please Lord himself, to please himself and them, the Lord sometimes agrees to act as a human being and perform wonderful, uncommon pastimes for the satisfaction of the devotees. Yeah. So we know this, but it's nice to read Prabhupada's purport, this Prabhupada purport here. So it is said, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. So there is no duty the Lord to perform, but Lord comes, and please himself and to please his devotees. When the Lord comes, uh, we always, here is wonderful uncommon activities. By hearing, um, you know, um, the activities of the Lord, they become like a panacea, cure for all. So the devotees relish these wonderful pastime. Uh, yes, so yeah, and we will recite one more shloka. This is also very important one, and hopefully we will conclude this small chapter. So, what is the benefit of hearing the pastimes of Lord Ram mentioned here? Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanairupadarayan Andrushamsya Paro Rajan Karma Bandhair Vimushchate. Purusho, any person, Ramacharitam, Charitam, the narration relating to Lord Rama, Shravanair Upadharayan, if simply hear regularly. So this is, if one hears Lord Ram's narrations concerning Lord Ram, what happens? Anshrusham Andrushamsya Paro Rajan. One will become free from envy. One will become free from envy. And then karma bandhair vimuchyate, thereby one will be freed of one's karma. Vimuchyate, will be liberated. So there is small purport. If anyone would like to read, they can read. So, is anyone willing? Otherwise, I'm happy to read.
Again,
Who is reading? Sorry.
Lalita Preeti.
Okay, go on.
Can you increase the size of the font a little bit?
Okay.
Here in this material world, everyone is envious of someone else. Even in religious life, it is someone found that if one devotee has advanced in spiritual activities, other devotees are envious of him. Oh. Such envious devotees are not completely freed from the bondage of birth and death. As long as one is not completely free from the cause of birth and death, one cannot enter the Sanatana Dhama, or the eternal pastimes of the Lord. One becomes envious because of being influenced by the designation of the body. But the liberated devotee has nothing to do with the body, and therefore he is completely on a transcendental platform. A devotee is never envious of anyone, even his enemy, because the devotee knows that the Lord is his supreme protector. He thinks, what harm can the so called enemy do? Thus, the devotee is confident about his protection. The Lord says, Ye yatha ma prapatyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. According to the proportion of one's surrender unto me, I respond accordingly. A devotee must therefore be completely free from envy, especially of other devotees. To envy other devotees is a great offense, a Vaishnava aparadha. A devotee who constantly engages in hearing and chanting Shravana Kirtana is certainly freed from this disease of envy, and thus he becomes eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. Very nice.
So we sincerely pray to Lord Ramchandra to destroy the envy within us and to help us progress in our devotion to the Lord Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Yes, I think does anyone raise their hand? Okay. Okay. So here Shukadev Goswami offering this benediction that one will be free from envy. Even Prabhupada writes, even devotees are also envious sometime. And hmm, if sometime, if one devotee is as advanced in spiritual activities, other devotees are envious of him. So that envy caused the bondage. Bondage means repeated birth and death. So here Shukadeva Goswami says, if one hears and chants the glories of Lord Ram, one will become free from envy. Disease of envy. This is a disease, it's mentioned here. Okay, so with that, this chapter ends. So couple of things to summarize. After Lord Ram was coronated, he worshipped himself through fire sacrifices under the guidance of an acharya. So we can worship the Supreme Lord through Sankirtan Yajna, hearing and chanting, under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. And the another point was Lord Ram gave everything, donated everything, land and other wealth to the Brahmanas who performed the fire sacrifices. So as a Grihastha, we can also donate something to the devotees. You use some of our wealth in the service of the Lord and his devotees. And the other point is these Brahmanas, when they received it, they said, my Lord, your affection is more than enough. We don't want anything, they returned. So Prabhupada writes that devotees never expect any material benefit through their devotion to the Lord. Of course, we definitely need, daily wealth for the daily necessities. And then what else? Yes, this, when Lord Ram so was moving incognito, disguising as a common man, he heard these, comments by a heinous person. And so to set an example, as an ideal example of an ideal king, and so he had taken the decision to send Mother Sita to Valmiki ashram, and there Mother Sita gave birth to Lava and Kusha, and she entrusted both of them in the care of Valmiki. And that's where they learnt entire Ramayana as well, and she entered Mother Earth, into Mother Earth. And so we also mentioned this man, this he became a washerman in Krishna Lila, and he was killed by Krishna. And um, so Lord has nothing to do, but yet he comes down for for his own pleasure, and for giving pleasure to his devotees. And so then there are pastimes when the Lord comes, that and devotees always relish these pastimes. When one hears the narrations concerning Lord Rama, one will become free from envy, and thereby they will liberate from the bondage of karma. So these are some of the points that we learned from this story. So thank you very much. I shall stop here. Yes, Nisha Mataji, please.
Hey, Krishna Prabhuji. Is I just my question is basically, we have so many versions of Ramayana. Even I bought Ramayana for Bhakti Vikas Swami, presented by Bhakti Vikas Swami, and he has dedicated to Srila Prabhupada the Ramayana. So, which Ramayana we actually should refer? And because I went, like, different communities actually perform this Ramayana in few months, and I've seen a version of Ramayana being given to kids which has said few things which doesn't did bother me. Like, it was saying that when Lord Rama was in the Vanavas, he was having eating meat in order to
Hmm.
satisfy him. And so I was just like, this completely, to me, it completely went wrong. So I thought, I'm not going to read this any further because it created a lot of doubt in me. So which best Ramayana we should
Yeah.
read actually?
Okay. So Prabhupada suggested that we should stick to Valmiki Ramayana.
Okay.
And as I mentioned before, um, Acharyas from Sri Sampradaya had commented extensively on Ramayana, commented.
Okay.
Their commentaries are quite famous, Sri Sampradaya's commentary.
Okay.
And with regards to your point, Bhaktivikas Maharaj, he had basically narrated the story in the form of, like, in the form of a story, and it's a small book.
Mm-hmm.
We have that. That is, he had taken from Valmiki Ramayana.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, so it is from Valmiki Ramayana, but it's not in detail, you see, like Valmiki Ramayana has 24,000 verses.
Okay.
So Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses.
Mm-hmm.
And it is also mentioned, as I mentioned, a couple of, as Tulasi Ramayana also, accepted by the devotees, Ramcharitmanas. And many North Indians, they read on a regular basis Tulsi Ramayana, although I've never read Tulsi Ramayana for myself. Yeah, so better to stick. And in our line, recently, Shubhavilas Prabhu had done a series on Ramayana, who had done an extensive research and compiled wonderful series of books, Ramayana books.
Mm-hmm.
And there is also a book by Chaitanya Charan also. But yeah, these are some of the things that I can recommend.
Okay.
Purna Mataji?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandut Pranam. Yeah, with regards to Nisha Mataji's question, I think from what I read, Nisha Mataji, as Natraj Prabhu suggested, I have read the series, Ramayan series by Dr. Shubhavilas Das, Shubhavilas Prabhuji, and I would recommend, anybody to read that book. Those books, they are really amazing, and it only mentions about Ram eating kandamul. He's not only given up his Rajasi, attire, but he has also given up his Rajasi life. So he's dressed up as a forest dweller, and he's surviving only on fruits and roots that are available in the forest. So during those 14 years in exile, he has not eaten any meat. And again, further to that, this doubt was clarified in one of the video release by Dr. Shubhavilas Das, again Shubhavilas Prabhu, and he clarified, because his readings, his Ramayana is based extensively on Valmiki Ramayana and other references as well. So as Prabhuji said, uh, they are trustworthy sources. And his PhD is also, on leadership qualities from Valmiki Ramayana. So um it is mentioned that he only ate, kandamul, fruits and berries during his exile.
Thank you, Mataji. Because it was read by some of our kids, and it was like I was thinking this is not a good guidance going
I
around.
think
But
Subhavilas mentioned, Lalita Priti, you remember one guy, famous Indian guy, wrote
Yes,
books.
yes,
Huh?
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, he is
What's his name?
Amish Tripathi.
Yes, many
But
Indians
Prabhuji,
read, and
he's fictionalizing. He's
yeah,
fictionalizing our, historical characters. I am
such
very
a shame,
confused.
actually. Shame.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He is making a story out of the same names, using the same names, giving them more or less the same powers, same
Mm.
appearance, but he's making a fictitious story out of that.
Yes, 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 yes. I've
Which,
not
which
come
confuses
across
which
like,
confuses us, because we haven't read all the scriptures.
yeah.
You know,
Yes, Mataji, I agree, quite agree. This is what happened in the last classes I went around last year, and it bothered me so much that it just didn't let me go to further classes because it didn't make sense to me at that time. And yeah, surely what you said. Thank you very much for your
So
information.
yeah, I think there are several hands now. We'll have to give everyone chance. Lalita Preeti, followed by Lokeshwar Prabhu, followed by Karuneshwari Mataji.
so
Okay.
just Prabhuji, sorry, before I just I'll mute myself. There is a story behind everything. Why Lord Ram had to use Vanar Sena. So
Mm.
the story behind each one of them. There's a pastime. As Prabhuji said, the washerman pastime. Similarly, for every thing that has happened in Ramayana, there is a pastime. So it will be an interesting read if anybody is interested in Ramayana. To dig in more, and it's beautiful. That's what I would like to say.
Okay, you are
Thank you.
referring to Shubhalas Prabhu's book series, right?
It's not in those series, Prabhuji, but I have read
Ah,
that elsewhere.
elsewhere.
These are in
Okay.
Gujarati, so unfortunately,
Acha.
I can't recommend everyone.
Ah,
But those of you can read Gujarati, I can, recommend. Yeah.
okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Lalita Preeti.
Just one point to Nisha Mataji's question. No, not a direct answer, but how we can decide which book to read. Because uh, my parents took me to different organizations since I was kid. From Brahma Kumari to what more or less all the organizations, spiritual organizations in South India. So, but one unique feature of Prabhupada, or one in his introduction and preface, he tells, um, what we do not have, we cannot give to the others. So, the love Prabhupada had to Krishna was sort of, unparalleled with many of the Jnana, Tattva, all the other organizations gave. But the love he has in his heart for Krishna, in my experience, I have not seen anywhere. At the same time, it's been quite logically, philosophically robust as well. So the same thing Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita. The same thing applies to Ramayana. Which Ramayana you read and you get love for Lord Rama, read that. Which Ramayana you read and get doubt about Rama, you should throw that in the bin.
Okay, thank you, Lalita Preeti. Lokeshwar Prabhu, you're on mute, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna
Ah,
Prabhuji.
thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So there are two things, Prabhuji. I think here this thing from Subhavilash Prabhu only. So when I think some people are referring that Ram eat meat in the forest, actually the reference could be like there is no true translation in English. So there could be some kind of jackfruit kind of things. Those days, I think they named it differently, and people when they convert into English, they used to say meat, but actually it's not meat. It's a pure kind of vegetable and kind of what we call those days. I think jackfruit. I think people now
Yes,
calling that.
yes. I
I don't
also
know.
heard
Yeah.
jackfruit. Yes, I
Yeah,
heard.
but those days they called differently, and when they are misunderstood and they used to convert as like meat, and after that people started following that same trend, and completely it was pivotal meaning that came after that. So that's one point I just would like to highlight. And the second
Sure.
thing is probably the washerman example you mentioned, right? And he got Krishna chopped his head when he refused to give the clothes. And but here in Krishna pastime, whoever in get in touch with Krishna, that is like they get liberation. That's what I heard. So now
Yes.
Wasserman, if he done some the wrongly commented about Sita in Ramayana, So why he get liberated in here? So,
Yeah, Lokesh Prabhu, good question. Prabhu, if someone is there in the Lord's pastime, they are somehow or other they will go back to Godhead, whether this way or that way. Okay.
yeah,
So even demons, when Lord kills them, they get liberated.
yeah, but yeah, he done some sinful activity, right? Commenting
Yeah,
on
that
Lord
is
Sita,
that is
but I don't
nullified
know.
by killing, no? That is
I killing.
nullified by
Okay.
killing.
That
Yeah,
it
yeah.
says na Prabhuji that even the holy name you do that as a jokingly or fun sarcasm, you get the effect. When the sun is there, even the urine will be sterilized.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So that's
So, yes, Prabhu, somehow or other, if they come in contact with the Lord, they will be liberated. Being part of the Lord pastime is also not easy, like that way. So he got a chance to meet, yeah, Krishna face to face.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you, Prabhuji. This is
Karuneshwari
good question.
Mataji. Thank you, Lokeshwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji. When Shubvilas Prabhu came to our temple, I remember he told about two names. One Mataji has told, I think, and another name, what I remember, is a Devdatta, who they are the people who have written fiction kind of Ramayana, and it is a bestseller in USA. And people really don't bother to dig deep and see what is written actually, what is the authentic version of Ramayana. And therefore, I'm really shocked hearing that somebody is reciting that Ramayana for a month or so. So they are all going to get a very wrong information, and especially to the kids, it is really very harmful.
Hmm.
So these kind of things, this kind of book should be banned, and we should spread more awareness that they shouldn't be read. I completely agree with Lilita Priti Mataji. Whichever Ramayana version, if we are reading and we have any doubts, we should discard that. And kids should be provided with the books. I think Shubvilas Prabhuji has a very wonderful series of books which divides Ramayana in different pastimes, which are more relevant and more interesting for the kids. So they would more be able to relate with the Ramayana with those books.
Sure.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Mataji, just to clarify, they are the non-devotees. They are not the one from Vaishnav groups,
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
not only Vaishnava group. Actually, we
and
don't know
I
whether
was,
they are Hindus
yeah, I was
because there
disgusted with
are.
that. So, the thing is that I couldn't voice my opinion on that because it's a big community and I don't know how people gonna take me. And so I just thought, okay, it's best not for me to read that book. And actually, I didn't let anybody else read, my kids. So that was one of the thing was bothering me. So I thought I should mention this because this has been going on. So I just mentioned it for
Mhm.
people's
Yeah,
awareness
we
that
don't
what
know.
should
We
we
don't
should
know,
be doing.
Mataji, whether those people are Hindu or not, because
They
there are
are Hindu.
many
They are absolutely
conspiracy.
Hindu. But the
No,
thing
I
is
mean the
that
person who
I
has
think they
written this.
misguided a bit. That's the only thing I can say.
No, it's the same thing. Now, Mataji Prabhupada says there are so many Bhagavad Gitas, but people did not become devotees. There may be so many Ramayanas. Are they becoming devotees? Are they getting love for Krishna?
Love
That's
for Rama.
love for Rama.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
That's a like a
Yeah.
litmus test or the benchmark.
Yeah. It was just a bit more bothering because the kids were reading those things and they
Maybe
should
you
not
can
be getting this
maybe
message.
you can tell
Yeah, I'm gonna
gently to
tell
privately,
one
not
of
in
the
a group.
person who could really communicate that, so I'll convey to her.
It's always difficult to say don't do this, but it's
No.
always there is a nicer and
Yeah.
more sweeter version
More
is available.
I still got the book with me, but I just put it away because it's Rama's book, so I can't, dishonor anything like which is Rama. So I kept it, but I will take this forward because, yeah, we need to voice which is something which is not right. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
I would I would bury that book, Mataji, in the ground.
Bury. Okay, I will bury the book then.
because
Sure.
because it shouldn't be reaching
this
to
is
anybody's
this
heart.
is devotee.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think
I
it
will.
will go back to.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah,
That
Mother
was
Earth.
Prana. I'll do that.
Purna Mataji, you wanted to say something? I think, is that a new hand or a hold hand?
New hand, Prabhuji.
New hand.
I think Lalita Priti Mehtaji, as always, she is always bang on the point. I was about to say that once you read that book, it fills your heart with love, love for Lord Ram. So when she said, that the book should fill your heart with love, love for Lord Ram, and that is what has happened after I read the Ramayana series. So Nisha Mataji, I don't know about burying the book, or I'm not that knowledgeable to say that, but at the minute I would say, instead of dwelling on that, if you can procure copies of Shubhavilas Prabhu's Ramayana, have a read through it. It will really open up your heart, and all your questions will automatically disappear. And then you can gift them this series, as Lalita Priti Mataji suggested, and say that this is a beautiful version I've come across. Please read this and please share it with other people. So if they have
Yes.
higher outreach, at least we will be able to send them the correct and the better version.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Thank you very much. Thank you for suggestion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I guess no further comments now.
No,
Always
maybe when
Ramayan.
Subhavilas Prabhu comes next time, we should take Prabhu to that group also, or invite those group members to our temple.
Sure.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll we'll be in touch with Nisha Mataji, and we can have a program there with Subhavilas Prabhu.
That's such a nice thing to have. Thank you very much.
Sure. Okay, so Hare Krishna, Bolo Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai, Sita Maya ki Jai, Bolo Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Very bol.
So much, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna. Thank you so
Krishna.
much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Prabhu.